And then there's just some discoloration as well, kind of right below where the tiles are in the kitchen. So, I don't know, the big things, I guess, then, are that there's paint marks all over the counter in the kitchen. So there's a lot of these paint marks that are on the counter. Above where the tiles have gone in, there's ruler marks on the wall. Below where the tiles have gone in, there's sort of a residue that I can't seem to scrape or wipe away. Just say the living room and all over the place, but there's a lot of these marks on the walls that are sort of these weird 3D sort of marks where it seems like the paint has sort of dripped or not been done properly. There's sort of like a visible line you can see there as well, where it's like the dark paint has been painted up onto the wall from the awnings and it's been painted over, but it doesn't look right. Like it should be the white going all the way down to the awning and then that colour starting, not that you can see the sample underneath. There's also a lot of stuff like that with, these marks that are all over the walls, like these 3D marks. Down here you can see that lighter mark, so there's actually like a lighter just splotch of paint there. And again, you can see where there's sort of the mark where, you can't see it as well on the camera, but there's like a mark that runs along here, which is where they've done the dark paint, I think, up onto here and then painted over it, but you can still see. Then there's just this weird stuff of all speckles of lighter paint on this wall. There's, as I said, like there's these sort of weird little holes in the roof at certain points. So there's like marks on the roof, similar to on the walls, like in the kitchen here. With the paint, there's another one. But there's also actual holes in the roof, like this one in the middle bedroom. The same thing, it's like throughout the house, there's also just in the main bedroom, there's also holes in the roof. Sorry if I said wall before. Again, you can sort of see just the paint marks where, like here, you can see there, they've done a lighter brush stroke across there, or a darker brush stroke. There's like, you can just tell that the colour's not quite right. Like along here, there's a line you can see above the awning board, skirting board, where they've done a brush stroke of like the awning paint there or whatever, but you can still see it. So the painting just doesn't look kind of completed actually, to a very high standard, I would say. And then another thing is just, so that's kind of, I guess, with the actual house. That's what I'd say mainly it is. There's paint marks all over, on the bench and in the kitchen that need to be dealt with. There's little holes in the roof that need to be dealt with. There's also just weird little paint marks and sort of, it seems like a poor job painting. Even just here above the light, like you can see a ring around it. It's like where it looks like they've done a brush stroke of paint around it. It is just a lot of little marks on the walls and roof where it looks like the painting wasn't really done all that well. I just don't think that if you were paying someone to paint your house and you came in, you saw all these these marks, you'd be very happy about it. It would be just like this, so that these sort of switches are reversed when they're not meant to be. And yeah, just to reiterate, there's a lot of these marks all over the walls. Like, it's just all over the roof. Just even like up here, it's like the corners aren't really done. It's just, the paint job just doesn't seem to be what you would get if you were paying for this to be at your own house. Like, you'd be not happy about these things, I think. I don't know if that's anything. There does just seem to be a lot of these 3D marks, man. They're just everywhere. Like, all over the place. There's these 3D marks in there. I don't really know what else to say about that. It's just, it does seem a bit, the paint job just rushed, or, I don't know, not done to a super high quality. Even like just this, I don't understand, like, why is it painted sort of on the side here? These tiles, is that just from the actual tile? Because they're sort of painted on the side, but not on top. Again, like here, they're just not painted on top, and it's weird there's these ruler marks above. I get that all these different people have been working on it, but just even here, like there's marks of just heaps lighter paint, just randomly. So I do think the paint job's not ideal. I mean, there's just marks everywhere. Like everywhere I'm looking, there's heaps of marks of the paint. Yeah. I'm genuinely quite annoyed about this paint job. It just seems really not right. There's just a lot of marks. Like this is just a bit of haunting me. Like there's just all of these bits where you can see where they've come a colour of paint above the skirting board, and now it's darker and it's noticeable. It looks unfinished. So a lot of bits of this paint look unfinished. There are lots of points where it looks like that. Like see here, there's that mark at the bottom there. That doesn't look good. Then, so again, just in the living room, like the paint, there is a lot of marks and stuff where the paint is that just seem like they're not meant to be there. Like that's a full sort of like, you know, actual thing I can put my fingernail under that's like attached to the wall. Like I don't know what the deal is with that. I mean, and everywhere I'm sort of looking with the paint, like I'm finding the similar sort of thing. I'm finding the similar sort of stuff, like all these cut marks also.
Daddy,
Yes, mate.
what's wrong?
Yeah, in a minute, mate. There's also just like a mark there where it's like the bottom of the paint's white. Maybe just stop for a sec. So there's a mark there on the paint where it's a bit lighter. Really, mate? Please, can you stop for a sec? And then, yeah, that bit of the paint's much lighter than the rest of it. Hey, Kay. And then just here as well, just checking if that's kind of okay. Just the paint, all drip marks and everything down here, this is in the second bedroom next to the cupboard. So in the cupboard for the kitchen, there's like I don't know, it seems like a nail or something that's sticking out at ground level there. Like another thing I just ask is, I guess, like say with the awnings and stuff here, like this is not on the skirting boards. It's not really flush there. Basically, just in the kitchen, there's just I'm wondering if the top of these needs to be painted. There's also just a bit of a line here above the tiles that are just on the right of the sink. But yeah, so in the second bedroom, there's this weird little hole in the wall in the roof. Another little just sort of mark on the roof. Another just little sort of mark on the roof. Yeah, and then it's weird because it's like there's one here in the main bedroom. There's one here in this bedroom. So I'm finding those a bit strange.